We need to do another cooking show.
I don't know. I don't even know what I'd do.
Just make something.
Like what?
It doesn't matter. You've just got to get back into this. Our millions of fans are demanding it.
I don't know.
You don't have to make them the cooking show they deserve, Andy, but you do have to make them the one that they need.
What do you think, Snarfy? Okay, so we're going to make a sandwich today, but the question remains what kind of sandwich? We've already done Reuben sandwiches before, so how about today we do a steak sandwich?
I've got my steak. I'm ready in case Count Chocula shows up. Here. Why do all the chicks dig Count Chocula anyway? I don't get it.
Actually, the steak sandwich has a pretty complicated history. It was invented by Rasputin back in 1913 as part of a negotiation for land rights with the Native Americans, who for some reason had negotiations for land rights in Russia at the time. And once World War I broke out, the steak sandwich was kind of put on hold until it was finished, and then Kaiser Wilhelm actually perfected the recipe after retiring, being forced out of his kingship at the end of World War I.
Waiter.
Oh, yes, sir.
I'd like a steak, please.
Yes, sir.
Wait, no. I'd like a sandwich.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, hold on. What I'd really like is a steak sandwich.
Yes, sir.
I'm a genius.
Here are ingredients for today's steak sandwich. We have 3 ribeye steaks, 1 pound of bacon. Coming back here a little bit, we also have a loaf of, no, there are other things involved besides meat. Please focus. Okay, there is a loaf of sourdough bread. This one's brown because it makes it easier to fit it all in, and I'll show you how to do that later. We're not going to slice this normally. Looking back here, we have some olive oil, a large onion, some Heinz 57 sauce. You could use a different steak sauce of your choice as well. Down here we've got our Swiss cheese, about 9 or 10 slices, and some mushrooms as well that we're going to fry up. So looking at our equipment today, we have 2 frying pans. Both of them need to be fairly large, a turner, and of course aluminum foil. It's a pretty simple operation. We also have the cutting board and knife over by the bread, as you can see. So let's get started. Got diced onions and mushrooms in the pan here with the olive oil. We're going to let them saute until they're caramelized. That's going to be a little bit. Over here in the other pan, we're going to get our bacon going first before the steak. Got about a pound here, so it'll take a little bit to cook. You want it to be mostly fully cooked because with bacon, you never want to take chances. And this is thick cut bacon because why would you want thin cut bacon? Ever. For anything. Someone agreed with you there. Now, we're going to look at our bread. So, we're not going to make a regular sandwich out of this. This is going to be unique. We're going to, and you might find the recipe for this somewhere else on the internet too. We're going to hollow off this bread. First, we're going to slice off the top layer evenly, or at least as evenly as we can. You may be able to do this a little better than I am. Act as the lid to our sandwich. It's going to kind of look like a bread bowl at first here. There we go. We're just going to yank out the chunks of bread here. Hang on just a second. We could save the chunks of bread for later to use in a soup or a stuffing or something of that nature. Want plenty of room here in this bread bowl also. The bread I'm using sourdough, but technically anything you can get in this shape will probably work. sourdough, as we know, comes from San Francisco, where it was invented by gold miners back in the 1800s. Did you know Mark Twain used to live there too? Learn something every day. Okay, we just about got this hollowed out enough. So this is going to go ahead, we'll put the lid on for now, but this is just going to stay here until we're ready to start filling it with all our stuff and the rest of the stuff's cooked. Okay, our onions and mushrooms are looking good and the bacon is draining. Let's go ahead and toss our steaks on. We're just going to mostly sear these. You don't need them to cook very long because they're going to get cooked some more as we make the sandwich fully here. These just need to go for a minute or two on each side. Okay, our steaks are ready to go, so let's go ahead and start filling our bread bowl here. Now these aren't completely cooked all the way through, but they'll get slowly more and more cooked as they are kind of crunched together, and everything in here is hot, so it'll help cook each other. So we're putting 2 of the steaks in on the bottom layer. Try to jam everything in there best you can. I'll squish them down a little. There we go. Now we're going to put some of the 57 sauce on top of it. And use as much or as little as you want. We're going to go a little nuts there. Now some cheese. Now the bacon. You can crumble it up if you like, but you don't have to. And now we will top this off with a little more sauce first. Now some more, well, we will put some cheese on, but first our onion and mushroom mixture. Notice how full this is getting. All part of the plan. Finally, some more cheese. Last steak. So I know what you're thinking. There's no way I could eat this as a sandwich, and you're correct. Put the bread on top to finish it up. Now we're going to wrap this in our foil. We're actually going to double wrap it, so it's just the first layer. One of our feline or canine friends found a scrap on the ground, and he's having fun with that also. Oh wow, this is heavy, folks, very heavy. Now we're wrapping this upside down for the wrapping's sake, but we're going to put it back right side up to finish. The double wrap will help you from getting junk all over the counter or wherever you choose to. Put this, in fact, we're going to do one more layer just to be safe. Now comes the fun part. We're going to weigh this down. We're going to put the cutting board on top of everything. And now you're saying there's no way that's going to weigh that down, and you're right. So we're going to have some help from Mr. Bowling Ball and Mr. Antifreeze here. Now the bowling ball doesn't want to stay, so we may have to find an alternate method. And we are. Now don't worry folks, that antifreeze is sealed, so we won't have any antifreeze on our sandwich. Now all we have to do is wait 4 hours. So in 4 hours from now, this sandwich is going to be ready. I'm sure you can find something to keep yourself occupied in that time.
Tossing and kicking.
Okay, it's been 4 hours. Let's check out how our sandwich is doing. And this is really multiple sandwiches, but we'll see how we did here. It's very flat, as you'll notice, compared to what it looked like before. So let's go ahead and we'll unwrap and cut it here. Each layer, one at a time, you can see some of the sauce and grease came out. That's good. We don't need all the grease for ourselves. Or do we? No, we don't. Last layer here, and it smells very good, I might add. Look at the melty cheese there and the bacon and onions, and we are right side up, which is the plan all along, if you'll remember. There we go. So we'll just cut a slice here with our knife, and it's a saw knife, which helps cut through the steaks. Even though they've been crushed, they're still steaks, folks. Let's see if we got it here. Yep, a little more. And there we have it, folks. A nice little piece of sandwich that will help you defeat vampires, or at least it's the most likely kind of sandwich to do. So there we are, steak sandwich, and everybody have a great week.
I've got my steak. I'm ready in case Count Chocula shows up. Let's do it again.